So now we will take ovarian torsion. This is very, very important for gynecologists. So that is why I have unmuted two gynecologists. One is Dr. Bharti and another is Dr. Dodke. Okay. So, Dr. Dodke.
Yes, sir.
Starting from you. You are a gynecologist?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now, let us discuss ovarian torsion. My handwriting is horrible. Please bear with this. Yati. So, Dr. Dodke, tell me first, this ovarian torsion,
Yes.
is it always and always sustained, or it can be intermittent also?
It can be intermittent also, sir.
Yes. So the first important, whatever I will write on this board is very, very important. Each and every word is important. You will come to know the importance of each and every word. So don't skip any word. Where from? From your brain. So keep an eye on each and every word. So first important point is that it can be intermittent or it can be sustained. Please write these words in your notebook. So get your notebook and keep on writing this. So the ovarian torsion can be intermediate, can be sustained. Now, why there is an ovarian torsion or what leads to an ovarian torsion? Dr. Dr. What was the next name? Bharti. Dr. Bharti.
Yes, sir.
What are the predisposing factors that can lead to the ovarian torsion?
That is size of the ovary. That's it.
No. Size of the ovary. Size of the ovary will be increased in ovarian torsion. That we will discuss later on. But which patient, which ovary is at a risk? What are the predisposing factors which can lead to the ovarian torsion?
Adhesions. Previously operated patients.
No. Cyst. And if that cyst is more than 5 centimeters, and especially if there is an underlying dermoid. So, note it down. If there is a dermoid, that ovary is at risk. Now, see the importance of these important points. If your patient is already labeled as dermoid, if there is a documented dermoid and that patient is coming with pain, then you will think that this patient may have ovarian torsion. So I told you each and every word is important over here. So if there is any mass or a cyst, especially this dermoid, that ovary is at risk for ovarian torsion. Jyoti, sit here. Okay. Now, there should be no background noise. If there is any background noise, we will remove you, please. I don't want whole of my class to get disturbed. Now, the patient's age. See, these points are very, very important. I am repeating again. If a 50 or a 60 years patient is having a severe pain, you will not think first on lines of ovarian torsion. But if there is a severe pain in a young female, about from 15 to 30 years. So the age, 15 to 30 years. If your patient is having an age in between 15 to 30 years, and that patient, now see the correlation of these points. If the patient is having 28 years age and there is a history of dermoid, on the top the patient is having severe pain, you have to think on lines of ovarian torsion. So that is what I told you, that each and every word is important over here. And the mass, the cyst, if greater than 5 centimeters. So if the dermoid is more than 5 centimeters, you have to think now on lines of ovarian torsion. Now, clinically, the patient can have persistent pain or intermittent pain. Now, if it is sustained, now see, if it is I told you each and every word is important over here. If it is sustained, then the patient will have a persistent pain. And if it is intermittent, the pain will be also not persistent. No. So now the ultrasound. I will erase this all and you please note this down. Now, ultrasound, USG. Dr. Bharti. Dr. Bharti.
Yes, sir.
Are you doing ultrasound? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What you will expect from an ovary if it is ovarian torsion? Point number 1.
The color Doppler should be done.
No, I'm a very poor doctor. I don't have color Doppler.
First, to see the size
Wait, jumping onto the color Doppler.
size.
No. First, the base is the 2D ultrasound. Give me 2D findings first. Yes, hurry up.
Transvaginal ultrasound we have to do.
I am not asking whether to insert the probe or to take abdominally. I am asking for the ovarian findings. What you will see in ovary if it is ovarian torsion.
Presence of the cyst.
Before presence of the cyst. Why not the enlargement of the ovary? Yes, so the first point is the size. Size of the ovary will be increased. It will be increased. Now, if the patient is having pain, underlying there is a dermoid and the ovary is increased in size, then the train is going to Kathmandu. You know what I'm talking of? Then this is fitting in ovarian torsion. Now, first is the size. How much? We will come to this. Now, there can be secondary signs not from the ovary. What those can be?
Presence of cul-de-sac fluid.
Very good. POD fluid. If there is a fluid in cul-de-sac, now see, I told you each and every word will be important, whatever is drawn on this board. And the ultrasound is not in your monitor, in your machine. Ultrasound is in this whiteboard. If your patient is having a oversized ovary and there is a fluid in cul-de-sac, now the train has almost landed in Kathmandu. Now, how much the size? How much the size? More than 4 centimeters. More than 4 centimeters. Now, Dr. Dodke.
Yes, sir.
What will be the Are you doing ultrasound? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. What will be the echogenicity of that ovary? Echogenicity I am talking of. Echogenicity. what will be the echogenicity of that ovary if it is ovarian torsion? Quickly.
Echogenicity will be decreased, sir.
Decrease or increase? Hypo or hyper? Hypo or hyper?
Hypoechoic.
Now you know what is hypo and hyper, because these things are already discussed in physics and machine settings.
Yes.
Yeah. Will it be hypo or hyper?
Hypo, sir.
Dr. Bharti, will it be hypo or hyper?
Hypoechoic.
Hypo or hyper?
Hypoechoic.
Hypo. So both are with hypo and both are wrong. It can be hypo, it can be hyper. Now, why you are thinking hypo? Because you are thinking that there will be the venous cut, and due to the venous cut there will be edema, and due to that edema there will be a hypoechoic ovary. Dr. Bharti, am I right? Are you thinking on that line?
Yes.
Now, what about the necrosis? If the arterial is also cut, then necrosis will be hypo or hyper?
Hyper.
Very good. Hyper. So now it depends whether only venous is cut or the arterial is also affected. It can be hypo, it can be hyper. Now this thing will decide. This is the decision I'm making over here. I told you each and every word is important. Note it out. Hypo. If the ovary is hypo, I can save that ovary. Yes or no, Dr. Bharti?
Yes.
Because only venous is cut. And if it is now giving me a hyperechoic echotext also, it means that I have already landed in the tissue necrosis. Each and every word is important. Ultrasound is not in the ultrasound machine monitor. Ultrasound is in this whiteboard. So the echogenicity can be hypo or it can be hyper. Now, now coming to the ovary itself. So please draw in your notebook these points. Now coming to the ovary. This is the ovary. The ovary, first of all, will be enlarged in size, more than 4 centimeters, more than 4. It can be 6, it can be 8, but it will be more than 4. Now, it can be hypoechoic, it can be hyperechoic. Now, Dr. Bharti already told me that there will be some follicles. And these follicles will be peripherally placed like a PCOD picture. And the stroma will be thick. It will be like a PCODs. But clinically, it will not be fitting in PCODs. This is the point. Now, you might be thinking how to differentiate with that. But clinically, it is having a typical presentation. So on ultrasound monitor, you will see the ovary which is increased, and you will see a peripherally placed follicles with a thick stroma. This is the stroma over here, and a thick stroma. Now, I am not so poor that I don't have a color Doppler. Now I will put a color Doppler. Color Doppler is the last thing which you have to put. Be it here, when I'm talking of ovarian torsion, or be it at RPOC. Anything. Color Doppler is the last thing. Don't start with color, end with color. Now, Dr. Bharti, tell me, when I am putting color on this ovary will have hyper, hypo, or normal vasculature. This is very simple. Dr. Bharti.
Vasculature hypo.
Hypo. So the vasculature will be decreased. We are not labeling here at hypovascularity, but decreased vascularity. So the vascularity will be decreased, if not absent. If not absent. So if it is reduced or absent, then the findings are telling me that you are dealing with an ovarian torsion. Not always you will see a pedicle which is having the torsion there. You will see the ovary, you have to see the ovary. You cannot see to that pedicle. Now, on putting the color, if, Dr. Bharti, please think now. I told you time and again, I am saying you have to think 99 times before doing ultrasound. If, Dr. Bharti, listen to me carefully. If patient is clinically fitting in ovarian torsion, what I mean by that, there is age, there is underlying this dermoid or any mass over there, cyst over there, which is more than 5. There is a cul-de-sac fluid, but when I am putting color, I am seeing a normal vasculature of ovary. It is ruling out ovarian torsion. Dr. Bharti, yes or no?
Normal color vasculature will rule out, sir.
Tell me yes or no.
Yes, yes.
Dr. Dodke, yes or no? Dr. Dodke, hurry up. Yes or no? Probably the line has disconnected with Dr. Dodke. Dr. Bharti is telling me yes. No. Now think why no.
Partial.
Partial intermediate. Very good. Now see the beauty of this slide. You have to think 99%, not 99 times before doing ultrasound. It is not ruling out. It is giving you another thing. What is that another thing? That, doctor, maybe that you are dealing with an intermediate torsion. So the normal color is not ruling out, but giving me another track that I am dealing with an intermediate if patient is clinically fitting. So this is the point. So the lead point, what is the lead point over here? Lead point is that you should have underlying lesion in ovary, and especially if there is a dermoid. And if patient is having pain, and if patient's age is from 15 to 30 years, and if there is a POD, pouch of Douglas fluid, I mean, and then your color Doppler, CD color Doppler, if absent, now see, if absent or decreased is torsion. But if present and normal is not ruling out torsion, but is telling you that you are dealing with an intermediate torsion. Now, so the Doppler is having a sensitivity of about 100% and a specificity of about 97%. But the important point is don't jump onto the color Doppler straight away. First, put your all neurons in action. Then you have to take first the clinical history. You have to see the patient. Then the most important is the 2D ultrasound. Then lastly, you have to put the color. So now the treatment, you all know what is the treatment. So the treatment is urgent surgery. Now this is the medical emergency over here. What you have to do, you have to here mostly go for salpingo oophorectomy. Now, if not removed, this ovary, it will lead to the necrosis, and that necrosis will become infective, and it can lead to the abscess or even peritonitis. So now the differential diagnosis. Dr. Bharti, think of the differential diagnosis now, DD. Yes, what can be the DD?
If it is the right side, then
It is the right side, okay. Right side.
Appendicular mass.
Mass. Why I'm scanning now. Now see, I'm scanning also. I'm not only seeing the patient, I am seeing the patient, I am taking the history, and meanwhile I'm scanning also.
Hemorrhagic cyst.
Why you can confuse with the hemorrhagic cyst? Okay, let me take the hemorrhagic cyst. Hemorrhagic cyst. Dr. Bharti, will a hemorrhagic cyst give you severe pain?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, but that will not be as severe as in ovarian torsion. Will that give you a POD? No, not always. Why? Now, why not a pelvic inflammatory disease, PID? Now, simple looking thing, PID is very, very dangerous. What I mean by PID here, pelvic inflammatory disease. If there is pelvic inflammatory disease, Dr. Bharti, being a gynecologist, what will happen to ovaries? Will ovary be of normal size or increased size?
Congested.
Increased size or normal size?
Ovaries will normal size.
I'm repeating. If there is inflammation anywhere in the body, will that part get more measurements or will that be shrunken?
Increased.
Increase. Yes. So now see, uterus, these two beautiful looking ovaries. Why I am telling you beautiful looking? Because all of a sudden the ovaries will pop up over there. Doctor, we are here, we are here. Previously you were struggling in getting the ovary. Now the ovary is saluting you, doctor, I'm here. Because of the increase in the size of the ovary in case of a PID. Now, these ovaries are inflamed, inflammation, pelvic inflammatory disease. The echogenicity will be decreased. Now, this ovary will look like ovary which you are seeing in this ovarian torsion. How to differentiate? Dr. Bharti, this was the point. How to differentiate a PID ovary, inflamed ovary, from an ovarian torsion? Hurry up, please.
Echogenicity.
Echogenicity. Okay. If it is only venous cut in case of ovarian torsion, then the ovary can be even hypoechoic. Yes or no?
Yes.
Echogenicity is not telling me anything. Increase in size in both here and there, in inflammation as well as in torsion. Think. You have to think 99 times. And you have to see only once on monitor. And before seeing, you have to think 99 times before opening your eyes. It doesn't mean that you have to keep your eyes shut. No, you have to think. Hurry up, Dr. Bharti. First of all, okay, listen to me now. First of all, the inflammation. If it is PID, if it is inflammation, Dr. Bharti, will I see both-sided ovaries increase, or I will see usually, I'm using word usually, one-sided ovary in inflammation? Both ovaries are Only one ovary.
Both ovaries.
Both ovaries. So the point number one is that if it is bilateral, then unlikely there will be a bilateral torsion. So this bilateral is going in favor of PID. And if it is unilateral, then it is going in favor of torsion. Now the pain. The pain cannot be so severe in case of inflammation as is in case of torsion. And lastly, your favorite color Doppler. What color Doppler will give me in case of inflammation, Dr. Bharti? In case of PID, if I am putting a color on this ovary, an inflamed ovary, what it will show me? I mean the color. Increase, decrease, or normal?
Increased.
Increase. But in no ovarian torsion, I will expect increased. It can be decreased, or it can be absent, or it can be sometimes normal, but not increased. So if it is increased, now see, if it is increased, what is increased? Color flow. Then I am not dealing with a torsion, but I am dealing with inflammation. So this way you can differentiate an inflamed ovary from torsion, ovarian torsion. Okay, so that is all for now, and this was a very short class about the ovarian torsion. Any questions, Dr. Bharti? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Do you have any question? Dr. Bharti, yes or no?
Sir.
Okay, no. So, thank you very much.